Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Wolfinia. This is episode 309 of my Minecraft survival series. In the last episode, we began doing some renovations on Mr. Wolfens' office. And I mean, Mr. Wolfens, he was okay with the renovations that had taken place so far when I assured him this wasn't the end of it. But he did have one major note. And that note was that when he is over here sitting at this desk, he doesn't want to be looking out at the receptionist he will inevitably fire, right? Understandable. So what he suggested is that we replace this glass right here with something else. Now, hopefully this is a bit better suited to Mr. Wolfens' liking. He did, suggest the block of choice, gold, because, it's Mr. Wolfens. Of course, he's number one, right? So let's go ahead and have a peek at this and see what we think of it. You know what? I like it. Mr. Wolfens, he has good taste. I just want to make sure everything still works. Though it seems like we're pretty good here. So hopefully this gets me that, pat on the back I've been looking for. So we're going to continue to build up Mr. Wolfens' office. We got a lot of room available to do so. We have, all this space. We have the old boardroom right here that's no longer in use because Mr. Wolfens knows how to run things best for himself, right? So what we'll probably end up doing is tearing all of this out and even in fact opening this up a bit, using this space, the corridor beyond, and the offices beyond that because, well, all that space, it's not being utilized to, accommodate Mr. Wolfens, which, would be its ideal use. It would be the ideal use of most things, let's face it. So, to start with, we've got a lot of demolition to do. It's probably best that we go ahead and start doing it. So, at this point, let's go ahead and call the drone on over here, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. Welcome back, everybody. So, at this point, we have cleared out a pretty significant amount of space, and we should have, hopefully, enough room to give Mr. Wolfens the office he deserves. So, first things first, I'm going to take a bit of time and just try to figure out the layout of this area. All right, so at this point, I feel like I have a pretty good idea of the layout of at least some of Mr. Wolfens' office here. Let me go ahead and talk you through my thought process just so you can understand where I'm coming from, right? So we have this smaller office right here. This is obviously not, suitable for the glory of Mr. Wolfens, but it's a good place for him to meet with less important people, like, somebody like me, I can, pop up in here, hi, Mr. Wolfens, and he can tell me what to do and maybe yell at me for a few minutes, and then I leave. It's as simple as that. However, if he is meeting with somebody more important or having a longer meeting, maybe they could meet over here in this area, because this is going to be Mr. Wolfens' office, like his main office. They will have to make the walk over here to Mr. Wolfens' desk, which will probably be somewhere in this area. And when they're tired from the walk and, impressed and intimidated by the vastness of Mr. Wolfens' office, then they can have their meeting, right? Now, there's going to be more to the office than just, the office section of the office, and I have some areas already planned out. So I'll go ahead and take you through some of them and kind of talk you through what I'm thinking here. So you can see right here, we will have a little walkway with various ways up and down into the office space. This will serve as kind of Mr. Wolfens' personal promenade when he wants to stroll around his office area. And if we make our way downstairs, there will be another area, or a couple areas. This one I'm thinking will serve as Mr. Wolfens' personal library or a study, something of that nature. And over here on this side, I'm still giving this area some thought. Like, I have an idea how we can tie that in with this back area right here, but I'm not 100% sold on it yet, so I'm going to hold off on saying anything about this until I have some more time to kind of plan out what I want to do here while we're working on other stuff. But since I do have a pretty good idea of what I want to do with those parts I actually talked you through, I'm thinking maybe we'll just go ahead and get those areas done. So at this point, why don't we call the drone back on over here, put on a little bit of music, and build up Mr. Wolfens' office. Welcome back, everybody. And at this point, we've got a little bit more work done to Mr. Wolfens' office. So let's first pop over here to the balcony where we can look down upon the office where Mr. Wolfens will sit in all his glory. We have our promenade over here on the side, which looks down into the office of Mr. Wolfens. Can admire it if he so chooses. The promenade obviously goes around the whole thing. It kind of connects to the other side over there. And then down each of the sides, we'll have these separate side areas. And you can see it kind of stops abruptly over here, but I do kind of have an idea of what I want to do with all these incomplete areas so far. For instance, I'm thinking this will go out into maybe a balcony of some kind that kind of wraps around this way to offer a view of this area over here. But I'm going to give that a bit more thought. And then we can make our way into Mr. Wolfens' office itself, where the boss will be sitting right there. Or actually, he probably won't even be sitting right there when we arrive. You know, come down one of these side passages, like striding in, all big and bad in all his glory. Oh, I hope he likes it. And then if we make our way down the stairs on this side, you can see we have this comfortable area over here where Mr. Wolfens can come in, sit on the couch, read by the fire. It is conveniently located in the same area that will house his personal library right here. And in addition to all the other additions that we've previously talked about, I'm thinking we can add one more right here. Because you can see we have plenty of room down here to continue to build out Mr. Wolfens' office. And I do kind of already have an idea of what I want to do. All right, so now we got to figure all this stuff out. Gonna have a stairway right here. That much I know. But I don't think the stairway on this side is going to be right here. This stairway, by the way, leads up into an area I intend to be the kitchen. And if we're going to extend the kitchen out, then what we'll probably want to do is move the dining room on that way a little bit. And yeah, I think that would work, because if you look over here, we have plenty of room to do so, right? So yeah, let me go ahead and figure that out. And yeah, there's going to be a kitchen and a dining room in Mr. Wolfens' office, all right? He works hard, and what's he supposed to do when he gets hungry? Go eat with the commoners over at the Enchanted Pickaxe? I don't think so. All right, picture this, if you will. Mr. Wolfens is over here in his office working for the betterment of Wolfinia. He's sitting at his desk, but he gets hungry, okay? He gets hungry. He goes over here. He has a dining room all set up for him. And of course, he needs food to eat there. So he has the kitchen accessible right here, which is, going to be accessible from both sides in case he happens to be over here when he gets hungry. Now, I will let you know, I've also left a little bit of room for expansion right here. But we'll talk about that later. Now, I'll also let you know how humble Mr. Wolfens is, okay? Because even though Mr. Wolfens deserves it, he doesn't want servants coming over here, preparing his meals, bringing him food, anything like that, trespassing in his office. And what's he going to do when he needs food? Go to the farmer's market? The ground's dirt over there, come on. So here's what I'm thinking, a way to make this a bit more convenient for Mr. Wolfens as far as getting food into his kitchen. So we'll have a pathway leading over here. It'll be accessible from a couple places. One is from the entrance to the office area, and that'll kind of go a little bit of a roundabout way down a large corridor that also links up to this space right here, which is going to be accessible from the hub right here, which is where deliveries can be made and they can be stored and things like that. But basically, whoever is in charge of bringing Mr. Wolfens his food, hopefully me, is going to put that into some kind of dumbwaiter system that will bring the food up and over in some manner of way to Mr. Wolfens' kitchen. I know what some of you are going to say. That's a bit convoluted. Now, before I actually get started building, there's something I need to do because we will be sealing off access to this area right here, most likely. And once that is done, I think unless I go down this path right here, I'm never going to see this stuff again. So let me go ahead and get this stuff moved out. But now that that is done, it is time to get back to work. So I think what we're going to do at this point is we are going to begin building up these most recent areas we discussed that are going to be a part of Mr. Wolfens' office. So let's call the drone on over here, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. Because the wolf's gotta eat. Welcome back, everybody. And at this point, we've got a little bit more work done over here in the executive offices of Wolfen's laboratory. You can see these side areas don't have anything in them pretty much, but I do have some ideas of what we can do over here because, as you can see, we have plenty of room outside of each of these areas to build some stuff up. I know one of these will probably end up being an office for Mr. Wolfen's son, Wolfred. And I'm just saying, if I had an office, I mean, there's plenty of enough room for me to have an office. That would be nice too. But let's talk about what we built. So we have this storage area, which kind of, is part of this long corridor with plenty of side paths. This one, for instance, takes me out here so I can access the redstone for our course farm, things like that, which, would be convenient if Mr. Wolfens were to choose me as the one he trusted to, handle his food. This pathway right here leads, of course, down into the quarantined hub. It does have the storage room right there for deliveries. And if we continue our way up to the end of this corridor, we have another storage room here at the far end. And of course, the dumbwaiter system I spoke of, where we can deliver food to Mr. Wolfens. For instance, those 3 carrots right there, those should make their way into his pantry. We'll check that out in a little bit. I built this with a torch in hand, so it didn't seem as dark when I was doing it. All right. There we go. That's slightly better. All right, let's go ahead and have a look at Mr. Wolfens' dining room. I should not be standing on this table. Don't tell him I did that. But you can see the dining room. There it is. And if we head up the stairs here, you can also see Mr. Wolfens' kitchen, where we should have had some carrots delivered, but didn't. All right, we should be good now. We should be good now. And this is why I'm glad I do these little tours with you guys, because can you imagine how much trouble? I don't need to fill that in. Could you imagine how much trouble I'd be in if Mr. Wolfens just starved? But anyway, here's 3 carrots into the dumbwaiter system. We'll go ahead and make our way back up into the kitchen. And this time, hopefully, they will be delivered into his pantry just like that. All right. That was a close one. Now, obviously, there's still a lot more work to be done, and we will get that work done, hopefully in a timely manner for Mr. Wolfens. But I do think that is probably going to do it for us for this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I do hope that you'll stick around for the next one. As always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I will see you guys later.